Craig Crawford, let me bring you in. You write for the Trail Mix blog at craigcrawford.com and a prolific tweeter, might I add, into the wee hours last night. Loved reading your tweets.
I can't keep up with you.
I try. But I want to talk about the presidential race with you in a second. But first, the debate. I mean, I wasn't done. After 90 minutes, I wanted to keep watching. But in terms of undecided voters, Craig, do you think they got the clarity they were looking for?
You're right. I haven't had that much fun watching a debate since Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ariana Huffington debated without a moderator. I've never seen a debate I didn't want to end. I don't know that undecided saw it that way, however. Those of us in the political game, we like to see these fights, and we enjoy the back and forth. Undecided voters historically react poorly to too much negativity and too much emotion, and that's why these aides are always telling these candidates, just ripping the personalities out of them, tell them don't take any chances, don't make any mistakes. That's what was refreshing about Joe Biden. He just tossed all that advice aside and showed us who he really was, showed us some skin.
And Vice President, presidential debate, that's certainly one of those debates where you're watching, you want to see who, heaven forbid, they have to lead the country. You want to see who can step up, and you said that person was Biden. Why?
I think at the end of the day, Biden was the one who was really answering directly and specifically a lot of the questions. Some of it was a lot of spin, some of it a little bit off on the facts, but he was being more direct. What I saw in Ryan was somebody who was tutored, a tutored novice on foreign policy, clearly, not answering questions. All the talk about Biden laughing. Why shouldn't he laugh? I think the moderator should have laughed when she was trying to get Ryan to be specific about how they would pay for tax cuts, 20% tax cut reduction, how they would pay for that without blowing up the deficit. He didn't answer. His answer was bipartisanship. This is the leader of one of the most mindlessly partisan majority parties in Congress I've ever seen.
Well, talking to Ali Velshi, though, he said both parties are kind of guilty of not being specific in terms of all that job creation they are talking about. They're talking and pontificating, but lacking in specifics. But I want to talk presidential race here, because let me read something you blog about. Quote, "The race is about as authentic as WWE's Monday Night Raw, a theatrical exchange of punches, but without the agreed upon outcome. Pro wrestling? Why?"
I love my Monday Night Raw, and no, absolutely, this campaign has been one of the most vapid I've ever seen. I agree with Ali that the Democratic side is not as specific as we need to hear to understand what they're really going to do about job growth. But I find the Romney side just completely lacking in anything that we can put our hands on. And they don't do press conferences. They never submit to questions, except in debates. Ryan the other day, when a local reporter, which is the only interviews they do because they're usually pretty soft, a local reporter actually tried to press him on some specifics, and he got mad and walked out. He was so outraged at being put to the griddle there. And that is the problem with this campaign, is it's theatrical. We're focusing on gaffes and laughs, and it's not just the media's fault. It's what the campaigns drive us to focus on as well, although that doesn't get us off the hook.